1, 2, 3, 4. And what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and implement that and integrate that into my full swing. How you doing, y'all? Welcome back to another Bubby Golf video. I appreciate y'all for being here. Thank you for tuning on in. Today's video, it was just kind of, I was sitting on the couch watching the White Sox game, watching them play the Detroit Tigers. You know, let's go White Sox. Let's get that dub. But yeah, I'm a Cubbies fan though at heart, but I root for both Chicago teams. Anyways, that's beside the fact. Let's get right into the video. I was sitting there thinking about it, and I remember, obviously I've made the video, if you have seen it, the Golfing with Tourette's, the original video where I explained everything, my first time on my channel publicly saying anything about having Tourette's. And in that video I talked about the fact that sometimes it makes it difficult. It makes golfing more difficult than it would be without it. For me, sometimes I stand over the ball for 25 to 30 seconds and it's kind of a mental battle I have to fight, or what I call it is I get the ticks out before I can commence and start the golf swing for me. I was sitting there on the couch thinking about it, and I was thinking, like, why have I never really tried to like troubleshoot and problem solve and see if there was some kind of solution I could make for myself, some kind of mental trigger or some kind of physical trigger that I could implement into my pre-shot routine or while I'm standing over the golf ball to minimize and mitigate that problem. And I don't even really want to call it a problem because it ain't a problem. Now, standing over the golf ball for a long time is not a problem, but it can be sometimes very irritating and frustrating. It can affect my golf games on days when it's really bad because I get frustrated. I want to get up there and I know what I want to do. I see the shot, I felt the shot, I visualize it, and I want to hit it because of Tourette's, and then I have to get the ticks out. I just can't always get up there and just go, per se, like you see most golfers do. Stand over the ball for a while, and I thought about it in my head, like, there has to be something I can learn, something I can integrate into my golf swing to help minimize that or mitigate that. And I was sitting there troubleshooting and just thinking about it while watching the Sox game, and it hit me, like I talked about in the last video, when it comes to putting and my putting routine and everything, the Tourette's and the way it affects that part of my game is very minimal. Everything else but putting, it affects me greatly. I stand over the ball for a long time. Y'all saw the clips in the first video. I'll probably play 1 or 2 of the clips from the first video I posted about golfing with Tourette's on this. But I'm gonna come out here tonight, and I even spoke with Grant about it. Grant talked to me about it, because obviously Grant is my coach. Him and Garrett have helped me in my golf swing and helped me get it in the slot, fix my takeaway, fix my downswing, my over the top. And Grant talked about it like, obviously it's different. Like, yes, it is Tourette's. It's something I can't control. But Grant mentioned to me, we were brainstorming, and he talked about, like, when there's some golfers who kind of get the yips or are having trouble getting over the ball and feeling confident, they do implement and go to the range and work on mental and physical triggers that they know, like, okay, time to go. Because obviously you've seen many golfers, especially I remember Sergio Garcia really struggled for a point in time standing over the ball way too long, and he got heckled in New York, I remember. God, my shoulder's getting tight. Let me switch real quick. And yeah, that's what, and after having that conversation with Grant, sitting there thinking about it, like, I've never done something about this before, I'm gonna do something about it. And that's what we're out here tonight on the range, and talking about the putting. I'm gonna see if I can implement bits and parts from my putting routine into my full swing pre-shot routine and see if that makes any difference per se in how long I stand over the ball, and if I can get rid of that irritating factor of wanting to go but having to get the ticks out. If you know what I'm saying, it's tough to explain if you're not someone who has a tic disorder or Tourette's, but that's the cool thing. When I posted that first Golfing with Tourette's video, the love and support y'all showed on that was absolutely unreal. It is such a blessing, this community we have built here. I'm so grateful for y'all. Y'all are amazing. But yeah, I noticed a lot of people on there actually empathized with it and understood what I was talking about because they had Tourette's or a tic disorder too. And I'm throwing this video out there. Maybe they'll see this video and something I talked about in this video will help them. And yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna hop right into it. I have an idea of what I'm gonna do, integrating part of my putting pre-shot routine into my normal full swing, chipping, pitching, long shot, 3/4 swing routine. And that's it. I'm gonna stop rambling. I like talking to y'all too much. Not too much. I really like talking to y'all, but sometimes I talk too much. I'm just gonna get right into it. I'm gonna explain to y'all what I'm gonna be trying to do and what I'm gonna be trying to feel to minimize me standing over the ball for 20 to 30 seconds because it can become frustrating. But yes, let's just get right into it. I appreciate y'all for being here. Let's run it up. All right, y'all. So when I was sitting there watching the game, I was thinking about everything I do with putting is on a 4 count. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4 count. So with putting, what I'll do is I'll step up to the ball, I'll get set, I get my hand on the club, and what I do is I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. And what I'm gonna try and do is I'm gonna try and implement that and integrate that into my full swing. Obviously at a different cadence because it's a different tempo, it's a full swing and everything. So the plan I hatched up in my head is this, listen. So I'm gonna get up to the ball and I'm gonna approach it like a putt. I'm gonna have this foot back, get this foot up, and keep this hand here like it's a putter. Like that's where I keep my hand when I'm getting set up behind the putt. It's on my left thigh. So that's what we're gonna run with, and it's gonna look something like this. So it's gonna be here, I'm gonna get the club behind the ball, I'm gonna step into it, have this hand here, and then what I'm gonna do, the first count of 1 is gonna be putting this hand on the club. So it's gonna be 1, and then 2 is gonna be a look at this. So it's gonna look like this. It's gonna be, I can take a look here, and I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. And that in my head is kind of making sense, like it's gonna help me. And we're just gonna try it. We're just gonna run it up real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was like the first thing I ever learned in golf was that putting cadence. I think it was in 8th grade I learned that. A low. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know why it took me so long to think of implementing this into my game to try and help with Tourette's and standing over the ball too long. But yeah, we're gonna run it up with that. I'm gonna hit a few balls and see if it works. And then if it works with this, I think I got the 8-iron in my hand right now. If it works with the 8-iron, bump it up to the 4-iron, 3-iron, 3-wood driver, and hopefully it just works throughout the whole bag. And that's the thing too, I will tell you about it, is like a lot of times it is better on the range. Like it doesn't affect me as much on the range per se. There is still definitely an effect on the range. Like it's like anything in golf, taking your game from the range to the course is a lot different. So my Tourette still affects me on the range. Like you saw in the first video I posted, that was a really bad night. Like that was probably to like the nth degree of struggling with the Tourette's, the tics and the twitches while standing over the ball. But normally on the range, it's not as bad as being on the course because the course brings so many other variables into play. I guess, I don't know why, but the thing is like this change could work here, and on the range it could be very efficient. But as soon as I take it to the course and I have targets and I have misses and I have repercussions, who knows what it is going to do out there. So that's going to be the big test. We're going to run it up here, and we'll take it to the course. We'll try it out on the course. Obviously, in the first video, I'm on the course. If it works here, I'll be trying it there. And yeah, that's what we're going to run it up with. Again, I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all showed so much love on the last video. Not even just love to me, but the support and the beauty of just human nature in those comments, showing so much love to everyone. Just such a positive, such a supportive community. Not only making me feel very comfortable with who I am and everything, but showing that that's how people are to anybody watching that video, reading those comments. I'm sure you guys play a huge part in showing other people that it's beautiful to be you, that it is so gorgeous to be yourself, and you guys are amazing for that. Again, I can't tell y'all enough how grateful and blessed I am for this community we have built here. But yes, y'all didn't come here to hear me talk. We're gonna get right into the video. Let's see if this kind of swing, change, joint ting works. Let's get to it. So the pace of that feels better. Obviously with any change like this, there's gonna be getting used to it. There's gonna be discomfort at the beginning, but the pace of that feels a lot better. But for me, it still feels like there's one thing missing. Like I'm forcing those swings. That's the thing, is I want to get away from having to feel like I'm forcing the swings through getting the ticks out per se, you know, because obviously I could do that. I could be very uncomfortable and I could just force the swing. I don't want to do that. I want to try and find something where the trigger in my head is comfortable. I feel like, if you know what I'm saying, I want to feel like once I feel that trigger and I get to that number or that motion that does tell me I'm ready to go, I feel comfortable about it. And I'm not thinking about like, okay, I still got to get these ticks out. If you know what I'm saying. It's very strange to explain, but that is how I'm looking at it. And that's what I think I have the idea in my head. I think it's going to be, I'm thinking, I'm gonna go set the camera up on the tripod real quick and I'm gonna try and work through it over the ball. But definitely pace feels a lot better. I don't feel as uncomfortable as I would trying to make that swing without going through this pre-shot routine. The 1, 2, 3, 4, even though obviously it's not at the same pace as the putter, I still am going through the 1, 2, and then y'all see I do twitch. I'll take a little after the 2, and then I'll go 3, 4. But it's helping. It's helping. That's all you can ask for, is a little bit of progress each time you're out here. And we're gonna run it up again. I think I have it in my head. I'm just gonna set the camera up. I'm gonna go through a work process. All right, y'all, that is definitely it. That cadence, that flow, everything there felt a lot better than the first go. So what I changed there is, instead of getting into it and having the club be 1, 2, 3, 4, what I did is instead I made this. I made this one on the count of 1, 2, 3, 4 as I went. So I tucked the shirt under, you know, that's essential for your boy. So my hands here, I'm looking, this is 1. I can take a look. This is 2. The final look is 3, and then the swing is 4. And that's how it's rolling in my brain, is how that's going. And it feels good going 1. No, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4 is how I'm looking at it. That's how I'm thinking about it. That's how I'm approaching it. We're gonna jump up clubs now because that felt really good with the 8-iron. That's why I started with the 8-iron. The 8-iron is my most comfortable, the best looking club to my eye in the bag. We'll jump up right now. Let's jump up to the 3-iron and see if that 1, 2, 3, 4 works with that too, which I think it will. I feel very good about that. And yeah, it's crazy how sometimes ideas just come to you and you're not even thinking about them. I was just sitting there thinking about what me and Grant talked about, watching the White Sox, and it's like, let's actually go try and implement that. Let's see if you can make that mental trigger and make something good happen with it, and see if you can try and eliminate and mitigate that time of standing over the ball for so long, which in turn eliminates and minimizes frustration with that part of the golf game for me. And that's what I think we're on to right now. I don't know, I've never thought about this, because the putter, I barely struggle with my ticks and twitches. I tick and twitch over the putts, but I don't feel uncomfortable enough to the point where it messes up my whole rhythm, my whole routine, where every time it's different. So yeah, we're gonna jump up to the 3-iron now. I'm excited for this. This is mad fun, y'all. I like this a lot. I like this progress. Let's jump up to the 3-iron and see if it works with that joint. that felt better. It didn't feel great. It felt like a little bit of progress, if you know what I'm saying, which is all I can expect, because I can't really judge this change I'm making till I feel comfortable with it. You know what I'm saying? Not meaning feeling comfortable with it in regards to the ticks and the twitches and time over the ball, meaning like as a part of my golf game. Put everything aside as a part of my golf game. I can't judge it till I feel comfortable with it. Because obviously changing up a pre-shot routine is something that's gonna make you feel a little bit uncomfortable over the ball. I'm not gonna blame the bad shots on that though. My swing hasn't been feeling 100% the best lately. It's been struggling some, but I definitely feel like implementing this, taking what I had and putting that cadence of 1, 2, 3, 4, the count, not the same cadence, but the count of 1, 2, 3, 4, and implementing that, it definitely feels like we're on the right track. We're on the right direction. I just gotta keep working on it. And that's the thing too, like I said earlier in the video, I'm not gonna judge a whole lot of this from what I'm doing on the range, because a lot changes from the range to the course. It's a big difference when you're on the course and you have water right and fescue left and you got a green tucked behind a bunker. So that's when I'm really gonna judge it. But yeah, I like coming out here. I like showing the process with y'all, whether I'm failing or whether I'm succeeding at it. It's all part of the process. Failing is actually a very important part of any process towards success, just so you know. And yeah, we're gonna run it up now. I'm gonna step right up to the driver and I'm gonna see how the driver feels with it. I think the driver will feel good with it, because the driver's a club I'm confident with. It's a club I like. And I think the driver will really be a true test, because the 8-iron felt good. The driver, not a true test, but the driver's gonna, I don't know what I'm thinking. I have no expectations of it, to be honest, but I feel like the driver's gonna do well. I feel like the 1, 2, 3, 4 is gonna work well with the driver. Let's just get right to it. Let's hit some drives for y'all. All right, y'all, well, that felt pretty solid. The thing is like, I can't tell if I actually am being quicker over the ball or not, because I'm gonna include the time where I'm open with my hand on my left thigh in the stepping in over the ball time. But I think one thing that's gonna help me out, regardless of if the time is actually quicker from that point compared to my old swings in the video prior, I think it's still gonna be beneficial to me, because getting some of the ticks out before I'm fully addressed to the ball with both hands on the club, I think is good for me, because I don't feel like I'm over the ball ready to swing. Not wasting time, but taking time to get the ticks out. I think it's good that I start with that open stance with my one hand, with my left hand off the club on my left thigh, and I'm able to get some of the ticks out there, because it's not as frustrating, because my body isn't ready to go yet, and my mind is already working on the process of getting ready to go by getting the ticks out, is what I call it. So I think that is definitely something beneficial to have been learned here today. So I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna hop back up. I'm gonna hit a few more balls, 3, 4, 5 more balls with the driver, doing the same thing, just seeing how it feels, and then yeah, call it a wrap to the video. Let's hit some tings, man. Let's hit some tings. All right, y'all. Like I said, it's a work in progress. This is like an experiment. I had a hypothesis. I think this will work, and it feels like we're on the right track here. But it's a hypothesis, and you have to experiment, and you have to see what works best, and you have to see what is going to bring you results. Sometimes those results may be worse, sometimes they may be better. One thing I can definitely tell is doing this, counting the 1, 2, 3, 4, trying to go at that cadence, but not being able to. It's not minimizing the ticks. It's definitely not minimizing the ticks. I can tell you that. I'm sure you can see by the footage, it's not minimizing the ticks or the twitches at all. But I think it's progress in the right direction, because I think as I keep doing it, I'll be able to get to the point where I'm able to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and that would be so beautiful if I could get to that point. I would love to get to that point. And some of y'all may be down here like it's and trust me, I've said it to myself before. I've said it to myself plenty of times on the course. Tom, Bubby, just swing. Just swing, just do it, just go. And I want to, trust me. If you're watching this video and you're wondering why doesn't he just swing? I want to, and I probably could just swing, but it's my mind's not satisfied with getting all the ticks out and doesn't want to let me go until it is satisfied with getting all the ticks out. And that's what I'm out here trying to hack right now. That's what I'm out here trying to figure out. That's what I'm out here trying to find a solution to. Though it's not really a solution, because it's not a problem. It isn't a problem. It's just some days it's very frustrating to be on the course knowing what you want to do and standing over the ball for a while. But yeah, we're gonna get it solved. It's always fun. It's fun having a problem, having a riddle, having a puzzle, having a challenge in front of you, and we're gonna find the answer. That's all there is to it. But yes, like I said before, last video, the love, the support, the community, how beautiful it was in the last video that I made about Tourette's was absolutely unreal. You guys are the absolute best. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. And yeah, this is just starting. We're just getting into it. Yeah, I do think though, this video isn't about working on the mechanics of my swing. It's not about doing that or grinding that out per se, but I do think if I can find this hack and kind of override, I guess I'm calling it, I think it will very much so help out my game immensely, because it'll get rid of that mental energy it takes to stand over the ball frustrated and irritated like that every time. Almost it gets to the point where sometimes I dread, it's gosh, if I'm having a bad day with it and I have to, God, my right shoulder's getting tired, yo, I don't know what it is. If I'm having a bad day with it and I have to get up and hit a shot, sometimes I dread, all right, you're gonna have to get up, you're gonna have to go through this mental battle of getting the ticks out and hitting the ball. And it can be something I dread some days, getting up and having to hit a golf shot, although it's something that should be so simple and so trifle. It is slightly just a bit more complicated for your boy, if you know what I'm saying. But I want to figure that out. I want to get that dialed in. And yeah, we're close. This is a fun journey to be on, because I'm just going to keep trying new puddles, trying new riddles, trying new combinations of things until it finally clicks up here in my brain and makes sense. But yeah, that's the mission we're on right now. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I'm so grateful that y'all watch this video. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for tuning in, y'all. Much love. Peace.